Okay, I'm back. My name is Michael Randolph. I'm with the Center for Nonprofit and Community Development. And normally when I have a guest, that means that guest is a mover and a shaker. That what they bring to the table is something that impacts the community as a whole. Today I want to introduce Pam Robinson, who is not only a friend of mine, but also a business associate of mine. When I met Pam, she brought me on to do some consulting work in terms of providing board training to her board, and she's got a dynamic board of directors. Also putting together a strategic plan and program design. But today, I want to bring Pam to introduce you to Pam of the day. And I'm going to ask a couple questions. Pam, are you ready for the questions?
Yes, I am, Michael.
Okay, Pam, I'm in New York. And I'm going to hear this presentation, and I don't know who you are or what you do. Can you share with the world who you are and what is your occupation?
Well, my name is Pamela Robinson, and I am a licensed attorney practicing law in Hillsborough County. I've been practicing law for 30 years. I handle accident cases and criminal cases.
Okay, good. So if you want to, you can, if somebody wanted, are you only in the state of Florida, or you New York, Chicago, or this for the Hillsborough County?
I'm only licensed to practice in the entire state of Florida.
Okay.
Any
People,
city within the state of Florida.
She's good. How can they get in contact with you? Let me throw in one of those what you call it, shameful plugins. Pam, tell them how they can get in contact with you related to your legal side of the table.
Well, actually, you can just call me. I'm really accessible. Like some of the attorneys say, call me on my cell, call me at my office. My telephone number is area code 813-732-1180.
Excellent. Pam, something happened in your life that changed your entire life forever.
Yes.
Tell us what changed your whole life and forever, and refocus and repurpose your life.
What happened that changed my life permanently was in 2014, my son, Aaron Robinson, was 30 years old. My son, Aaron, passed away. He was diagnosed with bipolar disorder at the age of 18. And like I said, at the age of 30, he passed away. And our lives, my family lives, and the ones that love him have never been the same. Out of that grief, however, I founded an organization called Aaron's House in honor of Aaron. Now, before I go on, I'd like to just tell you a little about Aaron. Aaron was fun-loving. He was always the life of the party. He was a gifted saxophone player. He loved writing. He loved the Lord. He attended the Pentecostal Church of God. He had so many family and friends that he left to mourn him. But even though he's not physically here, he's here. He's here spiritually in our hearts, and he'll always live on forever in our hearts. And the love that we have for him, that his family and friends have for him will never die.
Awesome. And because of that, what about Aaron's house? Well, that's how Aaron will live forever. Tell us about Aaron's house.
Well, after Aaron passed away, I, as a way of dealing with my grief and carrying on his legacy, I founded a nonprofit, 501c3 nonprofit organization called Aaron's House. And what Aaron's House does is that it gives support to caregivers of people with mental illnesses. It doesn't matter what type of mental illness that the person has, as long as a caregiver takes care of a loved one or a family member that is suffering from, say, autism, bipolar, schizophrenia, depression, you name it. If you're a
Okay, if I
caregiver,
can stop you 1 second, because
okay.
you actually have been a caretaker. Talk about that so people understand how valuable your service is and the stress that family members go through. So can you share that with us? Because you're coming from a place of, I've been there, not from a place of, I'm doing something of what I saw on TV.
Michael, caregiving was one of the most stressful jobs I've ever had in my life. It's a 24/7 hour job. The caregiver, because of the uncertainty of the mental illness that the caregivers deal with, you're never settled in your mind. You're always thinking, even if you're away constantly, you're thinking, how is my loved one doing? What is he or she doing? Is someone going to harm them? Sometimes bipolar disorder is characterized with mood swings, which can range from severely depressed to manic, where you're happy, a person think that they can walk on waters. And during those times, a person is not thinking clearly. And so, we're caregivers always wonder, is this going to be the last time I see my son? When I leave my son or daughter, will somebody mistake his illness for aggression? So in short, you never, ever rest. A caregiver's job is never ending with the doctor's visits, going back and forth to hospitals if the person is Baker Act. It's just an ongoing job that's uncertain. And that's the part of it that is just really difficult. You're uncertain. You never know what the next day or even the next 30 minutes is going to take you when you're dealing with someone with a mental illness, if it is a serious chronic mental illness. And bipolar disorder has been characterized as a chronic mental illness.
It has, and the numbers support that. Not only that, we also know that it normally takes about 10 years for a person to be diagnosed
Yes.
with bipolar.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of Black disparities when it comes to Blacks and mental health, especially when it comes to bipolar. So tell me, Payne, Earn House, it started. Activities are going on. Share with us, what are some of the activities that you've done over the last 5 to 7 years? I've been following you, and you like a one-person machine, making sure that mental health is something that the whole world understands and engages in. And you've been awesome at some of the folks that you've been able to get in order to talk at your different activities. Talk about your activities.
Well, some of the activities that we engage are specifically designed to bring awareness to mental health and mental illness and to help remove the stigmas associated with mental illness. We have various fundraisers.
I'm sorry, I just have to jump in it 1 second, because when it comes to stigma, it's twice as bad in the African American community. They say 96% of people, studies show, that have some type of mental illness don't want to tell nobody, because especially African American men, because it's seen as a weakness. So don't we have to emphasize that word stigma that she just emphasizes now. Continue, Pam. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much for that. And a lot of the activities that Aaron's House that we're involved in help spread awareness to this illness that have been so many years swept under the rug. It's been swept under the rug because mainly people really don't understand it. The more we educate ourselves about it, the more we talk about it, the more we're informed about it, the more we can be a stronger and better community and help those that are struggling with a mental illness.
Now, you actually provide classes, is that right? Some type of therapy to help people?
Yes, what we do, and one of the things that we do at Aaron's House is we provide support groups to caregivers of people struggling with mental illnesses. Oftentimes, caregivers, they're caught like a deer in the headlight when they have a loved one that's diagnosed with a mental illness. They don't know where to go, what to do, or who to turn to. And so what Aaron's House do is that we serve as a roadmap to kind of direct those caregivers and let them know what to do and let them know that they are not alone. During our
Awesome.
support groups, which are held bi-weekly,
Awesome.
we the caregivers, and they're also facilitated by licensed clinical psychologists.
Yes,
So,
yes,
yes.
yes. That shows that your ability to bring together professional resources, definitely part of the resources. But also when you've been giving your affairs, you've been getting some top name people to come to your fundraisers. What are some of the names of the people that have come and spoken at your fundraisers?
Well, during our very first fundraiser in 2016, we had Angela Robinson, an actress who plays Veronica on Tyler Perry's Have and Have, the Haves and Have Nots. And Angela Robinson also is Aaron's, my son's aunt. So she wanted to be the first one to come on behalf of her nephew and spread awareness and, you know, to tell people to stop hiding, stop suffering in silence. So it was a hit because most people were just elated and excited to be in the same room with Angela Robinson. And it was awesome.
And that goes to show your reach, Hollywood. And that's important. Now, I emphasize that not so much of the event itself, but the type of people that she brings to it. And you talk about connection to Hollywood. That's very important. So, Pam, give me some more. What are some other activities that you're doing? I heard that you was taking some caregivers out for a week or something like that.
Well, not actually a week. I wish
we could afford to take them out. I know you was treating them like they was queens or kings for a day. I heard about that.
Yeah, what we try to do, Michael, is we teach self-care. We teach the caregiver that in order to care for someone else, you have to care for yourself. And so one of the things that we did for the caregivers pre-pandemic is that we ordered a party bus and we took them shopping at a boutique. And afterwards we went to dinner. And when I tell you, there was so much fun and joy within that group. And they just had a ball, you know, shopping and just talking with someone that's just like you. You know, it was amazing to see the transformation, because when we're in the support groups, oftentimes the caregivers are saddened because, you know, they're trying to figure out, how do I get my loved one to take their medication? How do I get them to stop being so angry? And oftentimes it's not really a happy place that the caregiver is in. But when you take a caregiver and you put him or her with other people that are similarly situated and understand their situation, it becomes a family. So when I tell you that family of caregivers had a ball, it was just amazing. And it really made me happy to see them, because anything that you can do to make yourself laugh or to be happy, and we teach them just to do it, you know. And so that was just an awesome, monumental time for them.
And that is awesome. But you can't do this without money.
Oh, you can't do anything without money, Michael.
Tonight, you've heard her tell her story. She told a story from her heart. This is not scripted. It came from the heart. She can't do this without money. Picture this. There's a large percent of folks that are suffering not only with bipolar, but all kinds of mental illness, especially in the African American community. Picture this. You live in a household where you have a child or a loved one, and you see it 24/7. and you get away just for that little peacefulness. So you can get that energy and you go back. That's priceless, but it's not free. So, and that's only part of it because she does so many other things that we don't even have time tonight to talk about. But how can someone donate and what can they donate?
Well, one of the things that they can, in addition to money, one of the things that they can donate is their time to volunteer, to help spread awareness, help pass out pamphlets, talk about Erin's House, let them know that we are here, we are available to help, and that people don't have to suffer in silence. And one of the things that we currently have a campaign that's going on now, Michael, where we're asking all of my Facebook friends for $7. And the reason that we chose $7 is because we know that times are hard. We know that the gas has skyrocketed. We know food prices are off the roof. So we're asking asking my Facebook friends and anybody for a donation of $7, because one of the things that we want to do with the monies that we get is to hire a peer support specialist. And what a peer support specialist is someone with lived mental health experience that has overcome, knows how to deal with it, and have so many hours of training, and they can go into the homes of these families, of the caregivers, and help them better deal and show them easier ways to deal with their loved ones and actually have communication with their loved ones so that the caregiver can be relieved of a lot of stress. And so, Michael, I have over 1,400 Facebook friends. If each one of my Facebook friends donates $7, we will have almost $10,000, close to $10,000. And that can help us get
how you can use social media. Because I'm gonna be putting this on Facebook and I'm gonna be sharing that donation. And a lot of your people are on my Facebook as well.
Okay.
If you're a friend of Pam, you need to donate $7. And that's just for this one campaign, folks. But we want to work with Pam to take it from a point where so she no longer has to do campaigns like that because she got operational money, she got a building and all those things of that nature. But Pam, I know you have a West Tampa connection. Is that right? Did you live in West Tampa? Or have a place in West Tampa?
Yes, actually, I lived in West Tampa. I was born, raised up right in West Tampa. And after my son Erin passed away, he passed away. He had his accident maybe three blocks from over where I was living. So I moved because it had just had so many bad memories. And so what I did, I took that house that I was living in and I turned it into an Airbnb. And so I opened the Airbnb up in August of 2021. And so we have a lot of connections there, and so we've been blessed to have guests, and we've been blessed to have great guests. I have not had some of the bad experiences that I hear all the time, and I'm going to knock on wood that I don't have any of those bad experiences, but it's been a great ride. We're keeping the house and the family, turn it into a business, and it's been great.
Now, Pam, we are going to be connecting you to the movers and the shakers in West Tampa. That's why I asked you, where's you from West Tampa? That's a lot of activities, development that's going on in West Tampa. Now, that talks about one of the initiatives that we're kicking off from the West Tampa CDC side of the table, and it's called Mental Health / Public Safety / Economic Development. Well, what's the relationship? Well, the relationship between public safety and mental health is that a large number of people that are being arrested because of a mental health issue. The relationship between mental health and economic development is a large number of people are losing their job because of mental health. That's why our strategy is to look at all three of those things combined together. So this is really on time in terms of what Pam brings to the table, and part of that narrative as to how do we begin to make those changes necessary. So Pam, you never told me how a person can get in contact with you, girlfriend, and get some money over there.
They can visit our website, Michael, at www.aaronshouse.info. And that's AARONSHOUSE.info. And you can donate via PayPal, debit card, or credit card. We also have a Cash App, Mike, and our Cash App name is the $caregivers 813.
So, my last words to the general population. We have a crisis, folks, and it's called mental health.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. We had a crisis before the pandemic, and now we got a tenfold crisis when it comes to mental health. When it comes to mental health, we are misdiagnosed. When it comes to mental health, we tend to be over-medicated. When it comes to mental health, we tend to be on the outside of things. We need to change that narrative. And we need to begin to use different strategies, like an Erin House. Think about this. We're talking about a transitional house for prisoners. We're talking about houses for transitional house for A, B, C, and D. Why not this new concept of having places where folks can go just to be able to get away and then to go back again? Pam,
Yes,
thank
Michael.
you so much for sharing with the world who you are, and this is just the beginning. Any final words before we come out of this presentation?
Yes, Michael. My final words are that we as a people should be kind to everyone, because you never know what a person is going through. Now, it might sound kind of cliche-ish, but it's really not, because today it may affect my family, but tomorrow it could be yours. Because if that's 1 in 4 people are diagnosed with mental illnesses, that's a lot of people. So my parting words, Michael, is just to be kind to people, because you don't know their plight and you don't know their story.
I don't think I could have ended it better. Thank you.